Hello, my name is Michael Ramos, and I have been in the real estate world for, well, my entire life. My family and I have done it all and seen more from real estate sales, construction, and property inspections. And in all this time, what fascinates me the most about this industry are the people and how they changed their dreams into realty success.
This program is brought to you by City Home Inspectors, your one-stop shop for all your home inspection needs.
Hello, and thank you for tuning into this week's episode of From Dreams to Realty Success, where we share inspiring stories of top achievers in the real estate industry. Today we have Karla Nevarez. Karla has been an agent for just a few years, and she has completely dominated the industry with her social media presence and her can-do attitude. I've personally been a part of some of her inspections and seen how she treats her clients, and she's completely hilarious, and I know that they have a great time working with her. Thank you so much, Karla, for taking the time to come in today. I know you're extremely busy, so I am happy that you were able to set a couple minutes aside for me. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So I'm just going to dive right into it. So I wanted to ask, what were you doing before you got into the real estate industry?
So before I was actually working for a criminal defense law firm in Cicero.
No way.
Yeah, so I dealt with all of that.
So you were like a lawyer or what exactly?
Well, no, I was kind of like an assistant to an attorney, to a great attorney, by the way. I was a law office of Benjamin Martinez. Yeah, so there I learned a lot about the law and everything.
I'm sure that probably helped you with your real estate career as well. Is there any like skills or anything like that you learned there that you implement in your work today?
Well, it was a different kind of law, very different to real estate, but definitely shows you what you should do to stay out of jail, right? So you want to be a good realtor and not break any laws for sure.
Have you guys seen realtors get in trouble?
I haven't, not personally, and I hope I never see that. No, I've never seen anything, thank God.
This last 2 years we've been dealing with this pandemic, so we've been going through that. But it seems that you still produced, you did a great job during this time. So what was your major drivers? What do you think attributed to your success during this hard time?
Nobody really knows why the market spiked up so much. I'm assuming it was because a lot of people saved during the pandemic. But also what helped me a lot is kind of staying on top of like social media and stuff like that. Just social media and referrals. So if you do a good job with one client, they'll usually refer you to like their cousin, their grandma, everybody in their family. So I feel like if you do a good job, you're going to have many referrals.
Okay. So what was the deciding factor that made you go from your first job with the legal stuff into real estate? What made you decide to make that jump?
Oh man, so I want to say I've always liked real estate. I had someone that I knew that was in real estate, and I saw how well she was doing, and it kind of always intrigued me. But what really pushed me was my brother. He said, you know what, you're going to go get your real estate license. I want to say for like a full year. So he basically kind of pushed me in there and made me do it. But I'm very grateful that he did that to me.
So from there, I have, so you, after your legal team, you went and you got licensed, you went to Extreme Realty. What was so attractive to you when it came to Extreme Realty? Like why out of all the offices out there, was that the one that you decided to go with?
So one of the major reasons was because of my brother. He was here. And not just that, I feel like everybody at Extreme just treats each other like family. And I really like that. Everybody was so, helpful with anything I needed. When you come out of taking the test, you have no idea what you're doing. So you really kind of just need a good team to guide you. And if you have that, I feel like you can become very successful very quickly. And I know a lot of offices don't really offer a lot of training or someone who can completely mentor you 24/7. So that's what made me feel comfortable and made me want to come and stay here at Extreme.
So your brother's your main inspiration, it seems.
Yeah, he's helped me out a lot. But I want to say everybody really here at Extreme, Monica, the office administrator, Julie. Everybody's just been so helpful, not just Tim. So I'm grateful for that.
With Extreme, I know it's a newer outfit, right? How long have they been in operation?
I believe this is the 5th year, so not too long. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like with City Home Inspectors, like we kind of opened around the same time. And how many locations do they have now?
3. So it's Elmwood Park, Berwyn, and Midway.
Which location are you at now?
I'm usually at the one in Berwyn, but I kind of travel from like Elmwood Park to Berwyn, whichever one's closer wherever I'm at. But I'm usually at Berwyn just because I live closer.
Yeah, Berwyn's kind of like a good spot to be in because you got the highway right there. So if you got to get anywhere, Berwyn's a pretty decent.
You're kind of in the center. Like if you need to go to Chicago, the north side, the south side, you're in a good place in Berwyn, yeah.
From there, I wanted to ask, what are some of the things that you love most about real estate?
I want to say the main thing I love is obviously just handing my client their keys because they're just the excitement on their face. Like it's just a good feeling when you're closing with them and everybody's excited and happy. Definitely helping those who are first-time home buyers. That's kind of one of my favorite things. Helping them and just seeing their face. Usually like seeing their face, or you know what, even like immigrants that like kind of never expect to become homeowners, and once they do, it's like the biggest excitement, and I kind of feel that excitement for them. It never gets old. Definitely never gets old.
I feel like that too when it comes to the real estate world. What you said with it never gets old. That's just the way it is. It's always something that's like it's always changing, always evolving. So it's always different. Every single client that we have, you know, is a different story, a different tale, a different how, when, why. You know, yeah. So you know, you could do this for years. I mean, I've been in the real estate industry my whole life. And I still get surprised. I go to an inspection to help out, and I still find things that shock me, you know, or what have you. And then you meet people that are like have these amazing stories, and you know, just to see them making it, you know.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't see myself getting bored anytime soon, for sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, 3 years in, right? So you can't really get too bored. Not yet.
I know, right? I feel like it's been forever, but
so what is your main focus then? Are you more focused on the buyer aspect or the seller?
so I focus in both. But right now in this market, there's very few sellers. There's more buyers. And yeah, so that's why it's kind of shifting into buyers right now. Have a lot of buyers, but hoping to get more sellers just because there's not enough inventory. We need sellers. We need people to sell. So yeah, so both.
What would you say to somebody that would say, hey, you know, I want to sell my house, but I don't think right now is a good time to do so?
I would say there has never been a better time to sell. I mean, it's a seller's market out there. Houses sell within hours that they are posted on the market. I would say do it now. This is the best time for sure.
Then on the flip side, what if someone comes up and says, hey, you know, I really want to buy my house. I'm sick of renting, but I don't know if this is the right time for me to do so. I want to wait for the crash. I hear that a lot. People say, oh, I'm going to wait for the market to crash.
I get people asking me all the time, when is the market going to crash? And I'm just like, it's not going to crash anytime soon. So when someone comes to me and says, should I buy? Absolutely, you should totally buy. Why would you want to rent and throw your money away? Rents are 100% interest, so I never recommend that. I was living with my brother before I got married, and right when I got married, I bought my first house because I wasn't going to go into renting. I was taught that I should always just, even if it's the ugliest house on the block, but you know, just get your own place so your money doesn't go to the garbage. So yeah, I would say still buy. Sometimes it might take a little bit longer than what we're used to. We were used to being a buyer's market. You know, people were able to negotiate a lot more than now, but you could still get into a home, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay. And then, so what do you feel like the biggest obstacles are when it comes to a new buyer or someone that's trying to buy? What do you think their biggest, what makes it so hard for them to get something right now?
Well, what makes it so hard is that there's a lot of offers in most properties, but you know, you just kind of have to keep trying. You may get outbid a few times, but you will get into a house. So I would say don't get discouraged if you get outbid once or twice.
So you're saying that like a lot of customers that they'll lose that house that they really wanted and then they kind of just give up?
Yeah, a lot of people just they're like, oh, well, we're just never gonna get, into a home, or they just get like their feelings crushed basically, right? You're like making an offer into a house that you really like and it might not get accepted, and they just kind of like, oh, we're just gonna wait. And the more you wait, the more your interest rates are gonna go up and the more you're gonna pay. So I would say just keep trying and don't lose hope that you will get into a home.
Okay. All right. And let's flip it now. Let's say, what do you feel like your biggest obstacles are for a seller, someone selling their house? What is their major problem?
Their major problem is kind of knowing that it's a seller's market and wanting to overprice the homes. Um, there's going to be an evaluation done, so on the property. An appraisal done on the property. So they're going to come back and tell us it's not worth that. And then we're going to have to kind of renegotiate the whole thing. Usually it's not going to sell for more than it's worth. So I would say kind of listen to your agent and be realistic about how much you could price your property for.
Right. So yeah, even though that it's a seller's market, you can't just say, "Oh, then I'm selling my house for $300,000," even though it's $100,000 house. Like even if you get someone to sign up for it, it's not going to go through.
Exactly. Once the appraisal comes, there's going to be problems. So I would say definitely talk to your agent and listen to them, because we're professionals. We look at what the market value for your home is.
From there, I would like to ask, is there anything besides real estate that you're super passionate about?
Other than my family, not really. I never thought I would have a job that I would be super passionate about, but I was surprised to find out that real estate is my passion, and I really enjoy it.
I mean, yeah, it shows.
Yeah, it's something that I hear, like a lot of people like, oh, I love it, but like I truly love it. I truly love what I do and I enjoy it.
No, it definitely shows. Like I said, when I see you in the field, when I see you with your clients and how you speak to them, and you could tell that you have that drive and everything. So it's like I said, it's inspiring. It's good to see that because but I feel like more now agents are more friendly. I feel like before, when it was that buyer's market, pre-COVID, there was a lot of hard people, that just, didn't care, whatever, they come a dime a dozen, people like, it was whatever, so, we did have a lot of people that were like more rude to their customers and everything like that, or just, just knew what they had going on and that was it. And I feel like, COVID kind of humbled everybody. Yeah, it humbled all of us, you know what I mean? And it kind of, like brought us back into who we are, because we were stuck at home, so we had to look in the mirror a lot, and be like, like I gotta do something a little bit better, So, yeah, I think that's very interesting that you bring that up. But it's always good to show, like, when someone is passionate about what they do, it shows in their work and in their effort, and I think that you're doing a great job out there. I mean, numbers don't lie, you know what I mean?
I really try to show it and make sure that people know that it's really something I love to do, and I never want anybody to be shy to ask me any questions or anything like that. I want to be open for anybody if they want to, talk about either buying, selling, or even becoming a real estate agent.
I feel like before, because I brought you some flans and stuff like that in the past, and I do remember I dropped off at an investment property, if I'm not wrong. Is that correct? You do investment as well?
Well, yeah, my family does investments, so I kind of help them with their flips and stuff like that. So I do have knowledge when it comes to investing and what to do with investment properties, how to sell them quicker, and how to get the most profit out of them. Mm-hmm.
So you heard that, folks. Buyers, sellers, and investors, call Karla. Okay, so I wanted to kind of touch on that as well. So, like, what are some of the things you look for when you're looking for an investment property?
Well, you want to make sure the bones of the home are good. That's number one, right? You want to make sure whoever is buying that they have knowledge as to whether the bones are good, or they bring someone along that can kind of tell them. And then number two is you need to know how much work you need to put into the property. That way we can kind of talk about how much you can sell it for, and then you can say, okay, this is worth it or this is not worth it for me to invest in, because you have to have some sort of profit in order for you to invest. And sometimes that doesn't happen. So you really need to have an agent who knows how much they're going to sell it for and how much you will need to buy it in order for you to get the best, to get your money's worth, I should say.
Was there any any investment properties that you were a part of that were a great success that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah. Actually, someone I know bought a property in Lyons, and I believe they got it for like 80 something thousand and sold it for 336. So it was a great property. Yeah, they were really happy about that.
How did they get it up so high? Did they add additions? Did they blow up the roof?
Yeah, so everything was pretty much new floors, new stairs. They added a little bit of an addition to add like a master bedroom, and they just they cleaned it up nice. They added new siding to the entire house. I mean, you have to put money into a home for you to be able to sell it for a higher price. So yeah, they did a really good job. If you do a good job in your flips, then you should have no problem selling it. I mean, this house sold the day before it was actually going live.
Wow, that's insane. Yeah, it's crazy to me. I'm seeing all the time. I told the people that I did the podcast before yours, a friend of mine that I have on social media, she posted a property, or she listed a property, and then within 2 hours she had 10 offers. No one even saw it.
Oh my God, yeah, it happens.
So it's like, well, this is insane, So it's very interesting, the industry we're living in now.
In this market, I'm not surprised, for sure.
Yeah, there's a video I shared on a couple weeks ago. It showed like 2016 agents, like just, my client wants a new roof and this and that, and they were able to negotiate all that. And then 2022, they're like, my client is willing to give you their firstborn.
Yeah.
Like whatever we need to do, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, right now they're offering a lot of inspection waivers. So they waive their inspection, and I just never, ever recommend that. Never. I know some people just kind of...
Yeah, I'm hearing that too. People like, oh yeah, a friend of mine actually, personal friend of mine, she got into a house. She bought a house with her family, and the seller's side was said, hey, we got the house inspected already, so you don't have to. So they took their inspection report, and then they moved in. After they moved in, all these problems started coming up. Turns out the inspection was done 6 months prior, and it was only a 4-point inspection. So for those of you who don't know what a 4-point inspection is, a 4-point inspection is 4 points of the home: roof, structure, heating, and electrical. So that's all they checked. After that, and then it's a 6-month-old, report. So they went with that, and now they moved in, and they're like, oh, we should have got it inspected. I'm like, you knew who to call. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. They have a friend. Wow, that's surprising.
But I mean, it's understandable. They went for their first house. They had it inspected. They didn't get it. So they didn't want to pay for another inspection. So, I mean, they got it now. They're in. So now you got to fix it. That's all.
But definitely just do your inspection. That's number one in order for you to move forward.
Yes. Call City Home Inspectors, please. 886-422-9843. No, I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's one of the major things that I'm seeing is people need to know not to do that, because if they don't want you to inspect, there's got to be a reason. I mean, I just feel like there has to be something.
Yeah, and as a realtor, it just does not feel good. Like when your client says, I don't want to do an inspection, it's like, oh, that just makes me not, it kind of takes my sleep away at night. Like, what if something happens to this house? Like, it makes you look bad too. Like, oh, you sold me a crappy house, but I want my clients to get into a good home, and a home that's not going to cause them all these problems.
So cross your T's, dot your I's, do your due diligence.
Yeah, obviously every house is going to need repairs, right? But nothing major. We want to make sure it's nothing major that's going to cost thousands of dollars to repair.
Yeah, I always tell people all the time. I said, hey, you know, like every house has a defect. You could have a brand new 2022 built last month home, and we're gonna find a defect. And if I go in that house and I don't find a defect, I need to go back to school because I'm not doing my job. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, so there's never a perfect home.
Except yours. I'm sure yours is perfect because you're an inspector. So.
Oh no, hell no. I barely. No, I have so much work to do.
Yours and Baxi's must be like.
My filter is changed. I'll tell you that every 30 days. No one does that.
I'd buy your house for sure.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, it's the 7th. Get to it. But all right. Well, yeah, I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I am going to show your business card at the end, so everybody that's watching can write down your number and your email so they can get a hold of you. But if you'd like to verbally tell everybody what's the best way to reach you.
Anyway, really, you could do Facebook, Instagram, email, phone number, texting, any way you guys want to reach me. I'm always available 24/7. So.
No, thank you for coming on. This was a great one. I'm very excited to get it on.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful to be here.